What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Kite, and today we're going to discuss how strong Kite is now. Hey man, obviously this warrants discourse. I'm not gonna lie, it does. We need to talk about it. I don't know if other people talk about it. I'm not a big YouTube watcher, bro. I make the videos, I don't really watch them, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways, because why not? So obviously we're going to be discussing how strong Kite is now, because in my opinion, I'm gonna come out and spoiler say it, he's significantly, if not exponentially, stronger than he was when we last saw him in the series, and I'm gonna hit the points on why. Before I get into the video, I want to do a video on crazy slots, the ability itself, and the nature of the hot suit. I haven't heard anyone have a similar take on it as I do. So if you want to see that video, a video strictly about crazy slots and the nature of the ability, hit the like button. If we get this to like 100 likes in like 24 hours or something like that, which is ridiculous, I probably won't get that, but who knows, shoot for the moon. If we get 100 likes pretty quickly, the very next video I drop after this one will be a crazy slots hot suit video. So hit the like button if you want to see that. Subscribe if you like this type of content. Show some love. Don't be hating. Hitting the like button is free, bro. It didn't hurt you, especially if you like the content. Now, without further ado, let's get into how strong Kite is now. To truly uncover how strong Kite is now, we must ask ourselves a question: why do we think Kite is stronger now than he was previously when he was alive? There are some obvious reasons why, so let's just get the softball out of the way. The first one being is that Kite is no longer a human, he is now a chimera ant. But he's not just chimera ant, because he's part human, obviously, and he also has human consciousness. He's also part other magical beast. Whatever was in the meatball that the queen ate to produce Kite, that's what he is. But that in and of itself is already crazy. He has a chimera ant body, so he's significantly stronger than he was when he was alive the first time. He is special even within chimera ants, and I think he can even surpass Meruem. I'll get to that in a second. But the first reason is he's the twin sister of Meruem himself. He shares the same exact DNA as Meruem. He shared the womb with Meruem. Meruem took all the nutrients and all that stuff, but that's because he was the king and he had to do all that stuff. But just because Kite was born a little bit premature and was the size of a damn walnut when he was born, that doesn't mean anything. Premature people in real life can be born 1 pound and grow up to be 6'7", 300 pounds. Tyson Fury, the boxer, look him up. Born 1 pound, he was huge now. So that doesn't matter. He still has the same DNA as Meruem, shared the same womb as Meruem. That right there lets you know the potential for Kite to be as strong as Meruem is already there. No disputing that. But that was only the first reason he's unique as a chimera ant. The second one is that he actually grew up, unlike every other chimera ant that was born an adult, at least physically born an adult. Kite was born small and had to grow up and experience growth. Although at a rapid rate like an animal, he still grows up. And when you grow up, that allows you to experience, the phenomena that is you're a product of your circumstances. So whatever he experiences in life growing up, his body will alter to adapt to that. Rather than being an adult already and you just have what you have, he can adapt and understand things, maybe not understand, but just change due to circumstances. And he's also already an adult in his mind, so he can hack that and pay attention to that and put himself in different circumstances to evolve in certain ways if he wanted to. This is just the potential of what it is. But he's unique in those 2 ways, 3 ways. He's now not a human. He's chimera ant mixed with a bunch of different species, including human. But he's also the twin of Meruem, the Ant King, the strongest being we've ever seen in the verse to date. And then he actually grew up as an ant. He didn't just come out as an adult. So those are the first reasons. The fact that he's just different now, biologically, just fundamentally, he's different with DNA and all that stuff. Let's now move on to a way more interesting reason as to why Kite is significantly stronger now. And I'm standing on it right now. I think he could surpass the Ant King, and I'll get to it at the end of the video, but for now I'm just gonna say it right now. Do with that information as you will. But the main most interesting reason, in my opinion, is because Kite is now operating under Postmortem N, or he's on Postmortem N, he's fueled by it, whatever you want to say. The aspect of Postmortem N is now present in Kite's Hatsu. The reason why is because, remember I stated he had unique birth circumstances. Kite died, but he wasn't eaten. He wasn't consumed by the queen. When I was mentioning the meatballs, and I said whatever meatball was used to create the queen, or the sister of Meruem. I didn't say the meatball that made Kite, because Kite was never a meatball. He was never, ground up and processed and fed to the queen. So that means when he was fighting Pito, he activated the mace. That's what he got. He rolled the mace. Damn, bad spin, whatever. Did he say that? I don't remember. That's very significant if he did say it or not. I don't know. I'll pull it up if he did. But he rolls the mace, fights Pito, dies, was not consumed. So there's no way he should have gotten into an ant's body with his consciousness. The only way to do that is to be consumed by the queen, and then later on you gain your consciousness or whatever. That didn't happen to Kite, so not theoretically, it shouldn't be possible. There's no other way to transfer consciousness without Nin. So Kite died, the ability activated, as Jing said, he has an ability that activates when he really doesn't want to die. That activated, took his consciousness, and I guess it was looking for a vessel. The Meruem's twin sister was very premature, she wasn't gonna make it, she died, and Kite was like, boom, perfect conditions, went into that. And that's how it works. If that's how it happened, which is the most likely option, that means Crazy Slots is still active. It's just like, spoiler alert, if you haven't read the manga, I'll put a timestamp, whatever. Hisoka died to Crollo, and Bungee Gum resurrected him. He didn't get to make a new Hatsu. Bungee Gum is still his Hatsu, because Bungee Gum is now fueled by Postmortem Nin. It's operating under the aspect of Postmortem Nin. Crazy Slots should be Postmortem Nin now, which means it should be significantly stronger, like way stronger. Have you seen what Hisoka's been doing? He's been like remaking his appendages with Nin, like fucking ridiculous. So if Kite's on that level, then he should now be way stronger than he was when he was previously alive in his human body. What Postmortem Nin with Crazy Slots entails, I'm not sure. There could be a plethora of things. It could be that, there are harsh conditions on Crazy Slots, but that's what makes it such a good ability. When he gets to Scythe, he can only use the Silent Waltz, technique. Not only that, but he has to use the ability before he can do another roll and get another weapon. Two pretty harsh conditions that, they're good for the trade-off. They give him strength and all that stuff, but they're really harsh. And I doubt the Scythe is the only roll that has harsh conditions like that. There's probably several of them. With Postmortem Nin, he could probably forego those altogether and just, pull out whatever he wants. Or he could activate multiple Crazy Slots. The little clown's little Nin beast, it has sentience of its own, and it rolls it, and it has its own weapons. He could probably activate another one that has a separate, personality and sentience of its own, and it could have a different arsenal of weapons. And then he has two Crazy Slots, which is insane. Not only that, Postmortem Nin is for the Nin itself. It amplifies and gives power to the Hatsu. That could mean that the Crazy Slots little Nin beast gets more power, it gets more autonomy, and that maybe Kite doesn't even have to hold it anymore. He can conjure it, and it could go move over there and start doing shit on its own and fight with Kite. Or he can have two of them, and one fights on its own and hits from different angles. Kite would be way harder to fight with two Crazy Slots. And not even if he only had one that has more sentience and more power, and it has more autonomy, you'd be fighting against two people basically. And one of them is fucking a Nin beast that is like several different weapons. So the possibilities with the Postmortem Nin Hatsu for Crazy Slots is ridiculous. It just takes, not to mention that it's just gonna make every single attack from the Hatsu extremely more deadly. Just everything might be fatal. One shot from the gun was already fatal. It might blow a hole through several Chimera ants with one shot at that point. You just don't know how strong it is. And even if Kite doesn't, if it's this whole death Postmortem N thing doesn't happen, which is very unlikely, I literally just broke it down, and it's the only way it was possible. But even if he didn't get Crazy Slots back, he could literally just remake Crazy Slots or make a new Hatsu. But with already having mastered Nin in his previous life, everything he makes will be extremely more efficient. and everything will be more precise. The ability will be way better since he already knows how to create it, and he can avoid pitfalls when making a new Hatsu. So yeah, Postmortem N crazy slots ability, fucking ridiculous, man. That's my favorite reason, but this next reason is really just the icing on the cake. It's really why he's gonna be significantly stronger now. For the third, and let's say final reason, let's try to keep it short here, that Kite is now significantly stronger than he was previously. It may even sink his fangs into the king or surpass the king, in my opinion, is, let's call it something called Nin evolution. And what I mean by that is that there are certain applications of Nin or just Hatsus in general that you can only get access to if you're privy to it beforehand. And what I mean by that is that certain abilities are rooted in biological functions. Let's take Meruem, for example. Aura synthesis, his Hatsu, is rooted in the biological process of a chimera ant. The queen will eat something, process it, give birth to offspring, and the offspring will have the physical features of whatever she ate in combination along with the functions inside of them. So like if it was a chameleon, it'd be able to turn invisible. It gets all of that physically and functionally. That is something they can do without Nin. You understand what I'm saying? They can do that without Nin. It's just biologically something they can do. A human cannot do that. A human doesn't eat sharks and lions and then have babies that have claws and gills. It doesn't work like that. They're not even privy to how you'd be able to do that. And if you don't even know how you can do it, you can't achieve it with Nin. Nin is very much rooted in what you know you can do. And if you can't even fathom it, there's no way you'd be able to even start to create it. So Kite now having a different biological makeup as well as different senses, because he's not a human. He may even have a sense that allows him to breathe through his skin or some weird shit like that. Who knows what he can do? But having all these weird senses and amplified senses because he's part beast and ant, it would allow him to mold and use, it opens up his perspective to an alternate version of the world. And when you understand the world differently, you can manipulate the Nin in ways that regular humans would never even imagine. Just think of all the Nin abilities he could do now. And he even has a tail. He could do some shit with that. It's like a rat tail. So I don't know, maybe he's part rat or something. I don't know. But think about that. The biological functions, and he's like a biologist, a glorified biologist, like a rare game hunter, whatever he was. But having knowledge on magical beasts would allow him to identify the makeup of his own body, and he'd be like, oh, like this is kind of like the arm bones of a so-and-so animal, and they're different from humans because they can do shit like this. And then if he thinks, oh, I can use Nin to make an ability based off that, or not even an ability, but I can make Nin flow and do weird shit because I have a different body and it functions differently. Or maybe Nin inside his body can flow differently as well, and it just leads to very much just a new world of options with Nin. And I think with his wisdom that he will have over Meruem, with the same body as Meruem, he can surpass Meruem potentially. Everything I said is just speculation. It's not headcanon because everything I've said is true or possible. It's not false. It's either true or it just will or won't happen. It's not like I've lied about anything. You can attest to that. You listened to the whole video, but that's the last reason. It's just a simple biological function, and the fact that he's had his mind opened up to a different world by being a different species or a collection of species entirely allows him to wield Nin in just a way, not even better, but just an alternate way that would be very difficult for any other person to deal with. And I think that would outscale him, or he would outscale every other human in the series, and it would even put him on par with the Ant King, especially since he's the twin and has the same genetic makeup. Let me know your thoughts though. Let me know if I missed some things that could possibly make him stronger, if I missed some things that could possibly make him weaker. Make sure you hit the like button as well so we can get that Nature of the Crazy Slots video out the way. I want to do that bad, but I'm only going to do it if y'all want to see it. If y'all don't like it, y'all don't want to see it. Simple as that. So yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content, guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace, and feel free to suggest a video you want to see. It doesn't have to be Hunter, it could be anything. Deuces.
君の気持ちを大事にしなかった私の頭